it's Jackie Ballhays from Stampers. Happy 2025. Boy, does that sound weird. And I am so excited to be back again with my template making class for the month of January. Now we've changed it up once again. You know me, I'm always looking for ways to bring you more ideas, and that's what it's all about. This time we are sharing 6 different templates and 2 card ideas with each one. So in the video, I'll show you how to make the templates. We'll walk through. You can start and stop the video and make the templates right along with me so that you can use them with any stamps, paper, and ink. Or if you prefer the written tutorial and step-by-step instructions for 12 different completed cards, make sure to check out the blog post that goes with the video. The link's right down there in the video description. And you can get the tutorial for free if you place a $50 order with me this month, or you can purchase the tutorial. Now, bonus on top of that, it's also celebration. So you can get a free item when you make a purchase this month as well. So lots happening. So make sure you check the link to the blog post over on my website. That'll give you all the details on everything. And then start and stop the video. All you need to grab the measurements and make this month's templates so that you can create lots of pretty cards. Let's flip the camera down. I'm ready to get started on this month's templates. So I hope you're as excited as I am to make these templates and some of the fun changes that we're making for 2025 to give you even more stamping ideas. Now, for the last few months, I've been bringing to you 4 templates a month. Well, we're up in the game. We've got 6 of them this time. Here's our little printouts. We'll set those aside. We're going to come back to those later. And each month we're going to make 6 different templates, and I'm going to share with you 12 different cards using them. Now, remember, I work with 2 of my demonstrator friends. They're actually 2 of my teammates on my Stampers team, and we each make some of the cards. So I have the ones that I've made to share with you, and then a whole bunch of bonus ones. Actually, I think I have a dozen cards sitting on my table to share with you today. And we're going to go ahead and make the templates. Now, here's the templates we've already made in this series. And like I said, we're going to do 6 of them this time. Now, remember with these and that printout that I showed you here, when you get the tutorial, you'll be able to cut those out. And you can see here, template 4, template 5. And I tell you, I use these all the time when I go to craft. I pull these out, I look at the stamps I want to play with, and I kind of flip through them and find the one I want. So let's set those aside because we're going to go ahead and start making template number 10. Now, normally I have you just take a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece, and that's what we use. But this time we're going to start with an 8 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score it at 3 3/4. And the reason we're making this a card that opens is because we have a 1/2 inch off that front. And if we only made this just the front of the card like we typically do, I don't know that you'd remember. So we're going to do it this way. Now, to complete this card, we need a layer that's 4 1/4 by 2, and we're going to cut a little banner end on this. Now, my way to do that, I mean, you can do it whatever works for you, but I like to fold it in half, so we're just going to kind of do that and put kind of a crease up there. You won't see that at all. And then go ahead and cut from one of the points there, or one of the corners, just cut up to that crease. Okay, and then you can see, and then what I like to do to make sure it's even is that piece I cut, I just flip it over. Okay, do you see how that worked? And then I can go from this corner right up, and then I have the exact same angle. And there is my banner. So we're going to go ahead, and when you glue this down, make sure you don't glue your card closed. So I didn't put any adhesive over to the side, all the way to the side there. So that's going to go there. Now it can be designer series paper, cardstock, embossed cardstock, whatever you want. And then we're going to add a circle. Now the tutorial says a 3-inch circle. Mine, I think, is a 2 3/8 inch circle because I'm recording this down in Arizona and I have a very limited craft supply here. But it's also a really good lesson for when you use these tutorials. You don't have to use the sizes exactly. You look at them as your basic guideline. Okay, we had 4 1/4 by 2 and 3 inch, but then change it, make it bigger, make it smaller, make it a different shape if you want to. This is just your pattern to get started. So there is our template or our card pattern or whatever you want to call it. Now let's bring in the 2 cards that I made. Now, I'm so excited to share with you these two stamp sets. So this is called Hugs for Love and Bright Borders. And this month we're using both of these along with the coordinating punch that goes with it. Now, these products aren't available as of today. They will be released on January 7th when the mini catalog goes live. So brand new products coming up. So we're sharing these just so you'll have lots of ideas. I think these sets are so versatile. You know, at first you think Valentine's Day because you see hearts, but I think hearts are for year-round stamping fun. So you'll be able to get these on the 7th. And also with that is on the 7th is when celebration starts, which means you'll be able to get free products with every $60 you spend. So this is a really cool month because you'll get my written tutorial with all of these cards with a $50 order, and then celebration is a free item with a $60 order, and tons of new products coming. So let's get back to these cards. I kind of get sidetracked when I get really excited. So you can see how I took my template here, and my circle's a little bit bigger, and then I use this punch label on top. So this really is your focal layer. So you can just stamp right on that, or you can build up off of it as you want. So here is the first card that I made. And don't forget, inside an envelope. And then for the second one, show you the envelope here, what I did is I just took my template, I turned it this way, I kind of scooched everything over to the left, and there's my card. And I added a piece of designer series paper down there on the inside so it shows when the card is closed. So you can see one template, totally different looking cards just by turning that template. Now, these two cards are part of that 12 card tutorial that you can get when you place a $50 order with me this month, or it's available to purchase as well. So that was number 10 in our collection. So let's move on to number 11. Now for this one, we're gonna do just our regular 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I have 3 strips here. These are 1 by 4 1/2. Is that right? Yeah, let me double check. Yep, 1 by 4 1/2. And we're gonna just adhere these down. We'll start in the center. That's kind of the easiest way to eyeball. Now again, these could be embossed. They could be designer series paper. For my templates, I like to use these really neutral colors because I have found that when I do that, I'm not quite as, I don't limit myself when I go to use the templates, the colors of the templates. I can kind of look at these as super neutral and then whatever colors I want to play with. So there is kind of our background on there. And then our focal layer for this one is going to be 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. Now, once again, remember, don't get stuck on the sizes. You can absolutely change them, change the shape, change the size, make it bigger, make it smaller. But there is our general template. Now let's go ahead and bring in some cards. So you can see here, okay, this one we just added designer series paper, but I used designer series paper on there, and then I did layer in here. So whenever you have focal layers, or well, actually any layers for that matter, and you're using a template, don't be afraid to, make another piece a little bit bigger or make another piece a little bit smaller, but to get some layering on there. And then because we're focusing on using this punch and that stamp set, for my focal layer, I just stamped and punched that. Super simple, super cute thank you card. And then on the inside, life is better with you. So I kind of combine both stamp sets for that. It's fun because they have really a different style, but yet they both work with the punch. So there is the first card for template 11. Now, when we bring in the second one here, you can see, once again, I turned it. And my pieces in the back there, I embossed those with the exposed brick embossing folder. Again, I added a couple layers, okay, just to get a little bit more, you know me, I like to layer, especially with black. And then for the focal layer, stamped on it, but then also just fussy cut those 2 hearts and popped them up with dimensionals and the inside. So again, there's 2 cards for template 11. Both of these have the step-by-step instructions in the tutorial. So again, we're gonna have 12 cards in this tutorial, all using these stamp sets and the 6 different templates that we're doing. So there's the first 2 for this month. So let me go ahead and grab the next ones. Okay, template 12. So again, here's our card base, and then we are going to start with a layer that's 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. So now again, if you're just following along, remember you can start and stop this video all you want to grab those measurements, or you can get the written tutorial if you're like me and would rather have that. So make sure to check out the blog post for all those details. You'll find it, the link to it in the video description. Okay. Let's see, what do we got here? We have 3 rectangles, and each one of these are 2 by 1 1/8. Okay, 2 by 1 1/8. And again, just like that last one, we're going to start in the middle, and then we're going to move 1 over a little bit to the right. I'm not getting these perfectly straight or perfectly spaced, but that's okay. So, and then that. So again, those were 2 by 1 1/8. And then to complete this template, we've got just a little piece here that would be your sentiment layer. And that can go right there like so. Now, once again, remember, basic template here. So you can change the shape, you can add to it. So that's template 12. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I partnered with 2 of my team members for the tutorial, so I don't have their cards. So the written tutorial has 2 different cards, just like I showed you for the other one for this template, but I went ahead and made one. So remember, this is not in the written tutorial, but you could easily recreate this one because you can see how I use just our little label there. Added designer series paper. This can be colored cardstock, designer series paper, add the ribbon. And it was such a quick and easy card, and it really is pretty. So there's template 12. And then let's move on to number 13. Now this one has so many possibilities. So again, there is our base, and then we have a layer here that is 4 1/4 by 3. And we're going to just stick that right there. Okay. And then the tutorial for this one says that these should be 3-inch circles. Now, once again, I'm down here in Arizona and I don't have my 3-inch circle punch. So we've got 2 3/8. But that's a good thing because that just shows you that you don't have to be exact on these, okay? So we're going to stick our 2 circles on there. And then we have a sentiment layer that's 2 1/4 by 1/2. Now, sentiment layers especially, I kind of hesitate to write those measurements on the instructions because you're going to want to adapt this based on the sentiment that you're using. But again, great card template. This can be whatever you want for backgrounds. These could even be stamped. This could be your whole focal image. This could be a flower. That could be a flower. So there's our template 13. Now the written tutorial will have 3 cards in it that Julie made. I don't have them. She made them, but you'll get them with the tutorial. But here's my version. And you can see for this one, I kind of turned it that way. I adjusted my circles a little bit. And since I didn't have a long sentiment I wanted to use, I wanted this punched label. So I just put that on there. But I hope you can see how the template was the starting point for this card. Now, these bonus cards that I'm sharing that aren't part of the tutorial, I'll have pictures of these over on the blog post. I'm giving you all the measurements so you could absolutely recreate those by looking at the pictures that I have for you. Alrighty, let's keep moving right along. We've got template 14. Are you guys excited? We're giving you 6 a month now instead of just 4. So many ideas. Okay, card base, 4 1/4, 5 1/2. And then I have a piece of designer series paper. It could be anything. That is, let's see, this here is 4 1/2 by 2 1/4. And once again, we're going to do a banner end. Somehow the 6 templates we picked to do this month, 2 of them happen to have banners. And, you know, it's kind of fun when I looked at them as I was making my cards, I thought, are these too similar? But then as I played with them and made cards, I'm like, no, they really are different. So let's trim that banner. Okay, so this one is just gonna go in the center. So let's adhere that one down right there, like so. And then we have a layer that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And that's going to go right on there like so. And remember, you can adjust these sizes based on the products that you're using. This is really just a pattern to really get your brain going and give you a layout. So we have that, and then in the center of it, we're going to put a circle. Now again, this could be any shape, any size, but this is kind of the focal layer that you're going to build off of. And then let's see, I thought I had a sentiment piece, but I don't have one here. You'll see on the template, you can add a sentiment any place you want on this one as well. So there's template 14. Now again, these were made by Heidi, so I don't have the exact cards to show that are on the template, but she made two super cool ones. Again, using the template different ways, changing it up a little bit. But I created my own card. This time I didn't use that label punch, but you can see how I stamped on the circle. Here's the little label I'm showing as far as putting it on there on your template for your sentiment. But again, I added an extra layer in there, but there is my card for template number 14. Now let's move on to our last one, template 15. So we'll set that aside. This one is super easy. The template itself doesn't have a whole lot on it, but you'll see endless possibilities. So we're going to start with a piece that we're going to make a tag out of. So it's 2 by 3 1/4, and I'm going to just snip the corners off. Now you could be like super picky here. You could just freehand it, or you can take this one, and if you line it up, kind of like we did with the banner on that first one, and cut. So there is our tag. So you're going to want to punch a hole, tie a ribbon through it, whatever you want to do to make it a tag. Tags are fun to put on cards just to give it a little bit different look. And then after your tag, you'll see that the actual template, as we drew it up, used a circle on there like so. So we can put a ribbon on there, which I'm not going to put on my template because it's kind of adds bulk. But again, that is the basic design to get your brain thinking to use this one. Now, Heidi came up with some great examples that are part of the template, but I wanted to make one as well. And you can see I kind of centered this on the tag instead of offset it like the original template showed. Created my tag, just put a couple strips of cardstock down there, and there is a quick and easy card. So I hope you love all these cards. Let's bring them all back here. And then I have 4 other ones to share with you. But we're going to start with these 4. Let's bring these back. So these were the ones that I will have pictures of these over on my website. The link is in the video description because these are not in the tutorial, because these were just some bonus projects I made to show you on the video. So there's those 4. And then with the templates that I designed, these are all part of the tutorial. Otherwise, you should be able to look at them and grab the measurements. But there are those. So once again, that tutorial also has, and I'll do this once we get off the camera, it comes with these 2 sheets here where you can go ahead and you can cut out your measurements and then just add them right on there on the back of your templates so that you'll be able to use these all over and over again. Now, I was playing around with the templates because I think I really seriously do use them for almost all my card making. And I had this stamp set, and now I've gone completely blank. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have it on the website. How's that? But you can see where I use my templates for this as well. Let's grab these so you can see them. You can see here how I took that, built my focal layer, made a bigger circle, built the focal layer on there, but used that for the layout. And then, let's see, we used, gosh, I got so many templates here. This one, to create this card with just some designer series paper, didn't add a whole lot of layers, again with the floral image. Oh, and I was just like creating and creating. So here you can see this one I stepped up a little bit, did some embossing, added another circle, but you can see how built the focal layer there. And then with this one as well, I got quite a bit more going on there, but again, starting point was the template, and you can see all the different layers from die cutting and embossing. these cards. So I'll have photos of these over on the website as well as bonus projects, because now that you have all the measurements for the templates, you should be able to create these with any stamps, paper, and ink. So thank you, friends, for watching. Remember, share my video, like my channel, so that you'll be subscribed to it, I should say. So you'll be notified when I do new videos. We do one almost every single week. And don't forget, you can get this month's Creativity Made Simple tutorial that has all of the measurements. It has pictures of the templates, all the measurements, 12 different cards, step-by-step instructions. But again, these templates can be used with any stamps, paper, and ink. So I hope you love them, and I hope you use them, and most importantly, make cards and bless others by sending the cards in the mail. So we'll be stamping again with you real soon. Have a stamp happy day.